Car lords, what's going on? Hey guys, today we're going to be going over some of the wiring that goes along with the fog lamps that I installed last summer. If you want to see a video for that, I'll put a link in the description down below, and I'll also link it at the end of this video if you want to watch it all the way to the end, like a good little subscriber. So what we have right now is the fog lamp kit from eBay. It's pretty messy. The wires are too long in some places and too short in others. So we have the positive from the battery that goes to the fuse. We also have the negative, which goes past the fuse into the relay. The relay's here, and then from the relay we have the wiring that goes down into the car for the switch. Now, to complete the circuit, the kit comes with this little connector. This connector is meant to be clipped onto these wires down here. And I never ended up doing that. What I ended up doing was I just routed it back around to the positive to complete the full circuit. But the downside to doing that, it's slightly easier, but also when you turn the car off, the fog lamps will not turn off along with your typical headlamps unless you flip the switch. So if the switch is left on, your battery dies. So what we're doing today is we're going to connect them with the actual headlights. We're going to connect them with the low lamps. So when the low lamps are on, you'll be able to turn the fog lamps on. But in a case where you left the vehicle on with the fog lamps running, once the vehicle shuts the headlights off, the fog lamps will also turn off. And along with that, when you turn on the high beam lights, the low lamps turn off, so your fog lamps will turn off as well, which is good because you don't need fog lamps if you're using high beams. Alright, so to get started, I need to extend this little connector so that it can make it all the way down to here. I think I'll also shorten up one of these wires here because they're so unnecessarily long. This one from the battery isn't too bad. I don't think I'll shorten this one up. I'll just leave that one. But we're definitely going to shorten the ground and the negative wire here. And yeah, so I'll just get started on wiring and soldering. And then we'll get back to you guys when we're connecting the lights up. It should be fairly easy. It's just a little bit of soldering and connecting it down here to the right wire. Okay guys, I've got the wires cleaned up as much as I want. I didn't shorten this big long positive. Maybe do that later. I don't know. For now I'm going to zip tie it in place. I shortened the really long ground that was taking up a lot of room in here, and I elongated the connector to connect it in to our low beams. Now, how do I know which one of these wires is the low beam? Well, let me tell you. Google knows. I don't need to know because Google knows. So I'm just going to Google that real quick, figure out which one of these special colors is the guy we want to connect to, and then we'll be testing it out. Pretty simple tutorial today. Okay guys, so according to Google, this brown and blue wire is our main headlight, our low beam. So we're going to splice into this and we're going to try it out. If it doesn't work, it's not that big of a deal because I'm not going to destroy this wire. We're simply removing the protective coating on the wire and connecting right into the bare wire underneath this. So if it doesn't work, we can simply tape that back up and it'll be fine. I'm just going to gently remove the coating off this brown wire and we'll splice it in, and then we'll test things out. Okay guys, as you can see, we're now spliced in to the headlight module here, the headlight plug, whatever you want to call it. I ran the extended wire underneath just so it follows the same path as the rest of the wire harness. I might zip tie it to the actual wire harness just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Next, we're going to plug this into the headlight and we'll test things out. So far everything looks good. I went ahead and flipped the fog lamp switch and they're on, which means they're drawing power from this low lamp. I'm going to go ahead now and turn on the high beams and see if that turns off the fog lamps. Well, something I didn't account for, on this particular car, when you turn on the high beams, the low lamps don't turn off. So what we have is power still being sent to the fog lamps. Now that's okay. I can manually turn off the fog lamps if I'm just driving around with high beams on out in the woods. That's fine. But the real test is to see if when these lights turn off, do those lights turn off? Let's go find out. Okay, so the car has been shut off now. Doors are locked. In a moment, the headlights should turn off, along with the fog lamps if everything has been done properly. Yes, it worked. Everything worked perfectly. That's awesome. That means no more dead batteries from forgetting that switch on. That's perfect. So now, just to finish up, we're going to reinstall the headlight. That's super easy. I didn't show taking it out because it's literally 2 screws, one there, one there. So we're gonna put that back in, and that's it for today's video. I'll end it just after I reinstall that headlight. Okay guys, that's it. I'm just reinstalling the little wire and re-zip tying everything. So just to go over how the wiring works with these fog lamps, we have the relay, fuse. Those get power directly from the battery. The relay feeds wires down into the cab for the button, and then from the relay also comes the wires that go down to the lamps. I have now extended one of the wires from the button so that the positive circuit is completed by the headlights, and that is how you get the fog lamps off of eBay to work with your stock headlights, so they turn off when everything else is supposed to turn off. So that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys found it informative. Hopefully it helped someone out who's trying to install the eBay fog lamps and make them work with your stock headlights. It was a pretty easy job, and a lot of the soldering wasn't even necessary, just extending that one wire and connecting it to our blue and brown headlight low lamp wire. So there you go, guys. That's how to get your eBay fog lamps to work with your stock headlights on your Ford Focus. We'll see you later.